He said, my dad owns half this county. What does yours do? I said, taught me to always keep the camera rolling. I clean pools in the kind of neighborhood where the gates have gates. I'm 23, I drive a truck older than the kids I clean up after, and I wear a chest cam on every single job. Not because I want to, because rich people love accusing the pool guy of things. Missing jewelry, a scratched car, a weird look. That $60 chest cam already saved me twice. Once when a woman swore I stole the sunglasses that were sitting on top of her own head. I never work without it. The Whitmore estate was my biggest client. Six-figure landscaping, an infinity pool, a garage full of cars nobody drove. Old man Whitmore made his money in commercial real estate and never let anyone forget it. His son Bryce was home from college that summer, the kind of kid who calls you champ and means it as an insult. First day, he watched me skim leaves for 20 minutes, then said, must be nice, no real responsibilities. I just kept skimming. Third week, everything went sideways. I was packing my gear when Bryce came onto the pool deck, phone in hand, looking panicked in a way that felt rehearsed. My dad's Rolex is gone, the Daytona. It was on the counter this morning. He looked right at me. You were inside using the bathroom, weren't you? I was. He'd told me to. Old man Whitmore came out 5 minutes later, calm in that scary rich guy way. $40,000. That watch is $40,000. Give it back now before this gets ugly. I told him I never touched it. He smiled. My family's been in this county 100 years. The sheriff was at my Christmas party. Think very carefully. He fired me on the spot. Then he made calls. By the next morning, I'd lost every client in that community. 9 houses gone. Nobody told me why. They didn't have to. A week later, a deputy showed up at my apartment with a warrant. Grand theft. Whitmore had filed a police report and an insurance claim on the stolen watch. I called a lawyer. He wanted $5,000 to start. I had $340. I called my mom, who cried. I called the public defender's office and got a voicemail. I sat on my bed and did the math. Plead guilty, take probation, carry a theft conviction for life, never work in anyone's home again, or fight a 100-year family name with $340 and lose anyway. I actually started writing the guilty plea in my head. Figured out how I'd tell my mom. That night, I was cleaning out my truck since I'd probably have to sell it when I found the chest cam in the door pocket, still clipped to its mount. I'd forgotten I wore it that whole last day. My hands shook so bad I dropped the SD card twice getting it into my laptop. I scrubbed to the timestamp. There I was, skimming the pool. Then Bryce, walking out of the house, glancing over his shoulder, sliding something into his hoodie pocket. A watch. My camera caught it through the glass door while I coiled my hose 15 feet away. Crystal clear. He'd taken it himself. I watched it 4 times. Then I laughed so hard my neighbor knocked on the wall. The next morning I took it to the legal aid clinic downtown. A law student watched it, paused it, and looked up slowly. You understand what this is? False police report. And if they filed an insurance claim on a watch their own son took, that's fraud. This isn't your case anymore. It's theirs. We sent the footage to Whitmore's lawyer with one line. We'd like to talk before the DA sees this. 3 days later, I'm in a conference room that smells like money. Old man Whitmore, his lawyer, and Bryce, who won't look up from the table. Whitmore's wearing a watch that costs more than my truck and looking at me like I'm gum on his shoe. The law student plugs in his laptop. Before anyone says anything, watch this. The footage plays on the wall screen. Bryce, the glance over the shoulder, the hoodie, the watch. Nobody breathes. Whitmore turns to his son slowly. His voice comes out cold. Where's the watch, Bryce? Dad, I can explain. You let me file a police report. You let me call the sheriff. You let me file an insurance claim. Each word lands harder than the last. Do you understand what you've done to me? Bryce looked like he might throw up. He'd bet everything on the fact that nobody believes the pool guy. He forgot about the camera. Everyone forgets about the camera. Whitmore turned to me. Name your terms. I slid a piece of paper across the table. Charges dropped. Written apology. Every client reinstated. Lost wages paid. He read it, looked at his son with pure disgust, and signed it without a word. His dad owned half the county. Mine fixed air conditioners for a living and told me one thing the day I got this job. Always keep the camera rolling. People lie.